This is me checking in from the base camp, again 4,000 meters above sea level. And as you can see in the background, there is Khan Tengri right now. Well, as much as you can see, I suppose, because right now it's in clouds. And the weather forecast says tomorrow and the day after tomorrow it's gonna be rubbish. So not so many people chose to try the summit nor the acclimatization. However, the good news is that I just got back from the acclimatization. It means that in the last 4 days I was hiking and sort of climbing over there. It's super technical. I didn't even expect that. And unlike other people told me that the Prusik sling will be enough, it turns out that I do have to rent or just bargain somehow Juma, which is like a hand jammer. Sorry if I'm going into too much technical details, but I feel obliged to talk about this part as well. And I was sleeping first at camp 1, 4,200, and 5,300 and 5,800. I had a severe headache throughout those days, really like massive one, but luckily my lungs were clean, my health was alright. I wasn't coughing, I wasn't having any running nose, so it was really decent. I was happy because it was better than expected, way better, especially given the fact that I had like supermassive Iranian climbers. They were like a day ahead of me, and they were like coughing, fucking like tuberculosis and stuff like that. So I really felt sorry for them. Nevertheless, the night I spent day before yesterday on 5,800 went alright-ish, I suppose. Like, of course, it wasn't like get up for the alarm clock and let me fall asleep for another 2 hours. No, actually, I didn't even have to set the alarm clock, because I knew every half an hour I'd just get up because of due to the headache and stuff like that. Anyway, so I got up 5,800 at 3 o'clock, and I left the camp at 4 o'clock, just after 4 o'clock. Shut down to camp 2, where I met the Russian team, Oleg and Artyom. Super massive climber and a bit more aged spice, if you like, other Russian dude, and I just joined them. Even though we didn't use crampons nor roped up, we just stick together because it was safer, right? If there's any of us who will get in trouble, then 2 other climbers are there to help pull out and stuff like that from the terraces. There are 2 different climbing styles, Himalayan and Alpine styles, right? And Alpine style is just like stay on a relatively high altitude, longer time, but then do the summit at once. Whereas Himalayan style is that you start from a relatively high altitude or like mid-range, and then you go up to a certain point, let's say 75% of the total elevation you have to gain throughout expedition, and then we return to the base camp to relax, to recover. But in the meantime, your hemoglobin level, blood cells, red blood cells increase, and afterwards, after 2-3 days, you do the summit attempt. Then you like shoot straight up to the fucking summit. So that's what I'm doing. On the contrary, there are other climbers who do Alpine style. I haven't really tried, and I'm not in a position where I could risk trying that and getting so exhausted that wouldn't have another chance to do that. I'm eating well, which is something not really common on the mountain. And in the camps, I have to admit that I had no appetite at all either. Also, I'm getting tired of the food after 1 week. Nevertheless, I expect to eat this shit for 2 months total, well, excluding the days when I'm in the base camp, just like chilling and having proper meals made by this Tajik Russian culinary expert. I love those cuisine, by the way. It's just frantic. So this is the second day that I'm back in the camp. I'm feeling really alright. I have a bit of running nose now, but that's nothing compared to other people's symptoms. So I'm really happy, like I said, and now it comes back to the fact that I've been running for a year, like intensively, gaining competition, endurance, and good stamina, as well as it doesn't matter. My mind is a really tricky, sneaky bitch, because when I'm on the mountain and I'm having the headache, I keep questioning myself, like, what am I doing here? Why am I doing here? What's the purpose of this? And it's funny because as soon as I returned to normal attitude, I was like, oh fuck, that was awesome. that was really amazing. This is something I'm seeking for, actually. That now I understand why I've been preparing for this throughout this whole year, and I just enjoyed it a lot. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the fact that little by little I conquer my own mind. I colonize my own brain, and if you've never tried anything like this, you cannot understand. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, because this is just such a niche sport, niche activity. And most people have not much of an idea what's that all about, and what does it mean conquering your brain beyond your body. Because first, conquering your body just takes like training, but it turns out here that meditation, like thinking, isolation, these things have just a little to do with all those things you go through on a mountain. And that's why I'm super excited about the summit day, because then I really have the opportunity to be tested.